I watch his face. Watch the moment when arrogance crumbles into fear. Marcus Johnson's voice cuts through the silence, commanding attention immediately. His dark eyes burn with quiet intensity as sweat beads on the receptionist's forehead. Power, shifting in real time. The hotel lobby freezes. A badge flashes. Gasps erupt. A woman clutches her pearls as a whispered, "Oh my God," hangs in the air like smoke. Marcus stands tall, his 55-year-old frame carrying both dignity and battle. Scars. His tailored suit speaks of success. His eyes speak of struggle. The Grand Meridian's marble floors reflect his image as he approaches the front desk, another fortress he's forced to breach simply because of his skin color. The receptionist's smile falters, revealing the ugliness beneath polished hospitality. Security hovers closer, hands twitching instinctively. The wealthy guests steal glances, some with disgust, others with uncomfortable recognition of what's unfolding. What you're witnessing isn't just another tale of discrimination. Marcus's voice resonates with emotion that prickles your skin. This is the moment when assumptions become weapons, and when weapons sometimes backfire spectacularly. Marcus adjusts his tie, a warrior preparing for a battle he's fought 1,000 times before. But this time, something's different. This time, justice waits in the wings. 15 minutes, Marcus promises. 15 minutes that will shatter everything you thought you knew about power, privilege, and the sweet, sweet taste of justice served cold. The Grand Meridian Hotel stands as a monument to luxury and exclusivity. Crystal chandeliers cast prismatic light across marble floors polished to mirror-like perfection. The air carries the mingled scents of expensive perfume, aged whiskey, and the unmistakable aroma of privilege. A string quartet plays softly in the corner, providing a genteel soundtrack for the wealthy patrons who consider this their sanctuary. Marcus Johnson approaches the reception area, his military posture and observant eyes scanning the environment with the precision of someone who spent 25 years in law enforcement. His suit is impeccably tailored but understated, quality that doesn't need to announce itself. The leather briefcase he carries bears a partially visible federal agency logo that most wouldn't recognize. Behind the reception desk stands Tyler Whitmore, a young white man whose carefully coiffed appearance matches his practiced smile. That smile brightens noticeably as he assists a blonde woman who arrived after Marcus, offering her a complimentary upgrade and champagne welcome. His voice carries just enough to ensure others hear his generosity to the right kind of guest. Nearby, hotel manager Danielle Hammond watches the lobby with the nervous attention of someone whose performance is measured in positive reviews and repeat business from an exclusive clientele. Her gaze darts between guests, lingering on Marcus with subtle concern. In the VIP lounge area, Charles Montgomery holds court. The 60-year-old executive radiates importance, his voice commanding attention as hotel staff hover attentively around him. The respect they show borders on reverence, the kind reserved for someone who could make or break careers with a single comment. The power dynamics reveal themselves in silent exchanges. Security guards shift positions as Marcus enters, moving subtly closer. Staff members exchange glances, whispering behind cupped hands. A gold plaque on the wall proudly proclaims the Grand Meridian as winner of the 2025 Excellence in Hospitality Award, while a smaller sign at the reception desk ironically states, "We serve all with dignity and respect." Tyler finishes, with the blonde guest, presenting her key cards with both hands as if offering precious gifts. She leaves with a satisfied smile, bottle of complimentary champagne in hand. The reception desk momentarily clear. Marcus approaches. His face, a practiced mask of neutrality that has served him through countless similar situations. A black cleaning staff member notices the scene unfolding, briefly making eye contact with Marcus before lowering his gaze in a gesture of silent resignation. In that brief connection passes a world of shared understanding, a language of experience that requires no words. Marcus reaches the desk. Tyler looks up, his welcoming smile fading imperceptibly as he assesses the man before him. The stage is set. Tyler looks at Marcus without making proper eye contact. "Can I help you, sir? Are you waiting for a guest?" His tone suggests Marcus couldn't possibly be staying at this establishment. "I have a reservation for tonight," Marcus replies, his voice level and controlled. "Johnson, Marcus Johnson." Tyler's fingers hover reluctantly over his keyboard. "Johnson, I don't seem to have— oh, wait." His expression tightens. "Could I see some identification?" "Please, and a credit card." Marcus produces his ID and platinum card. Tyler holds the card by its edges, as if it might be contaminated, scrutinizing the ID with exaggerated care. Nearby, other staff members watch the interaction while pretending not to. "This is a very exclusive hotel, Mr. Johnson," Tyler says, speaking slower and louder than necessary. "Our rooms start at $800 per night. Premium suites are considerably more." The implication hangs in the air. Surely Marcus must be in the wrong place. Marcus maintains his composure, though his breathing becomes more measured, more deliberate. His posture straightens further, an unconscious return to police training. "I'm aware of your rates," he replies, "as indicated in my reservation." A white couple at the nearby concierge desk whispers something and laughs, glancing in Marcus's direction. The female half of the couple touches her purse, shifting it closer to her body. Tyler scrutinizes the computer screen, frowning. "You've requested our executive corner suite, with full amenities." Disbelief colors every word. "That's our premium accommodation." "Yes," Marcus confirms, "as arranged through my company's travel office." Tyler's fingers tap aggressively on the keyboard, searching for some discrepancy, some reason to deny. The Employee of the Month badge on his chest catches the light as he leans forward. "There seems to be an issue with your specific requirements. Perhaps I can suggest an alternative property that might be more appropriate for your needs and budget." "I'd like to speak with your manager, please," Marcus says, his voice still calm but firmer. "I have full authority to handle these situations," Tyler replies, his professional veneer wearing thin. "Our hotel caters to a certain clientele and maintains rigorous standards." His eyes flick to Marcus's briefcase with suspicion of the eye. Lobby has grown quieter. The quartet has stopped playing between pieces. Other guests pretend not to watch while watching intently. The cleaning staff member from earlier has disappeared entirely. Tyler leans slightly toward a security guard and whispers something. The guard begins a casual but purposeful approach toward the reception desk. Marcus doesn't step back or show any sign of intimidation. Instead, he subtly opens his jacket, revealing something clipped to his belt, not fully visible yet, but the movement is deliberate. The guard hesitates, sensing something unexpected in Marcus's confidence and demeanor. Something doesn't fit the narrative Tyler has constructed. "I understand you have standards," Marcus says, his voice now carrying just enough authority to make Tyler blink. "And I expect those standards apply equally to all guests, regardless of appearance. Now, my reservation, please." Tyler's jaw tightens. "Sir, if you continue to be difficult, I'll have to ask you to leave the premises." A moment of tense silence follows. The air in the lobby feels charged, as if a storm is brewing. Then, the main doors open, and a distinguished black woman enters. Her presence immediately draws attention. She pauses, taking in the scene with calculating precision, her eyes narrowing as they land on Marcus and Tyler. Dr. Elise Johnson enters the Grand Meridian with the confident grace of someone who belongs anywhere she chooses to be. Impeccably dressed in a tailored charcoal suit, she carries herself with unmistakable authority. Her briefcase bears a logo similar to Marcus's, a detail not immediately obvious to most but significant. Nonetheless, Elise surveys the lobby, her experienced eyes instantly assessing the situation at the reception desk. She remains still for several heartbeats, watching, measuring, deciding. Tyler remains oblivious to her presence, still focused on Marcus with growing irritation. But others notice her immediately. A junior staff member recognizes her and whispers urgently to a colleague. One security guard subtly retreats from his approach toward Marcus. The hotel manager, Danielle Hammond, spots Elise and freezes, mid-stride, her professional smile faltering. Elise and Marcus exchange a brief glance across the lobby, a look loaded with history and unspoken communication. No words pass between them, yet volumes are exchanged in that momentary connection. Elise checks her watch, considering options, then makes her decision. The weight of her presence grows as she moves deeper into the lobby. Staff members straighten their postures. A receptionist discreetly removes Tyler's Employee of the Month plaque from display. The hotel manager composes herself and begins approaching with a practiced smile. But Elise subtly raises her hand, stopping. Hammonds advance without a word. The lobby has fallen eerily quiet. The ambient music seems to fade, as if the hotel itself senses the significance of what's unfolding. Guests pause their conversations, drinks halfway to lips, sensing the tension. Marcus remains at the reception desk, outwardly unchanged, yet somehow different. A barely perceptible shift in his stance suggests he knows something the others don't, like a chess player who sees checkmate 5 moves ahead. Elise's heels click rhythmically on the marble as she approaches. Each step deliberate, unhurried yet inevitable. The sound echoes in the now silent space, marking the countdown to something momentous. She reaches the reception desk and places her briefcase beside Marcus's, their logos now aligned, though still not fully visible to Tyler. The connection between them becomes more apparent, though its exact nature remains mysterious. Tyler, still not grasping the gravity of the situation, glances at Elise with annoyance. "Ma'am, I'm currently assisting this gentleman. If you could please—" Elise cuts him off with 3 simple words. "I know exactly what you're doing." It's fascinating to observe how some people treat others when they believe they can do so with impunity, Elise says, her voice smooth, as silk, yet sharp as a blade. "Please continue, Tyler Whitmore. Don't let my presence interrupt your demonstration of hospitality." Tyler flinches at the sound of his full name from a stranger. Do you know what's truly interesting about prejudice, Tyler?" Elise continues, leaning slightly forward. "It blinds people, makes them unable to see who's really standing before them, makes them commit errors. Tremendously. Grave errors." Tyler attempts to regain his composure. "Ma'am, I don't know who you are, but that's precisely the problem, isn't it?" Elise interrupts. "You don't know who we are. You see color, not people. You see stereotypes, not individuals. But today, that changes for you. Permanently." The lobby has become a theater, with every guest and staff member now openly watching the unfolding drama. Tyler's posture has shifted from arrogant to defensive. Manager Hammond approaches rapidly, alarm evident in her quickened steps. Marcus stands slightly more relaxed now, like someone who has seen this movie before and knows the ending. "I'd like to see your recent guest registry and complimentary upgrade records," Elise states, not asks. Tyler stutters. "That's confidential hotel information." Elise offers a small, knowing smile. "Now you're concerned about confidentiality. Interesting." Hammond interjects. "May I ask who you are?" "Of course you may," Elise responds. "It's your right to ask, just as it was Mr. Johnson's right to be treated with dignity." Rights are fascinating, aren't they? Some people seem to have more than others. A slightly intoxicated guest fumbles with his phone, attempting to record the confrontation, and spills his drink in the process. The momentary distraction breaks the tension briefly before it rebuilds even stronger. Elise opens her briefcase and slides a card toward the manager, deliberately bypassing Tyler. Hammond's expression transforms instantly. First shock, then unmistakable panic washes over her face. Tyler attempts to peek at the card, but Hammond quickly conceals it. Marcus finally speaks again, his voice carrying the weight of certainty. "You should have checked my full reservation details, Tyler. Mr. Johnson isn't merely a guest at your hotel, Elise announces. He's responsible for the security assessment of your entire international chain, and I am not just his wife. I am Dr. Elise Johnson, contracted to conduct a comprehensive evaluation of discriminatory practices in luxury establishments for the Department of Justice. Hammond's face drains of color. Dr. Johnson, I can assure you this isolated incident doesn't reflect. This incident reflects exactly what we came to verify, Elise interrupts. And considering Marcus participated in over 200 police raids and saved dozens of lives as a decorated officer before becoming a consultant, I'd say you chose the wrong person to discriminate against today. Tyler opens his mouth, but no sound emerges. And the irony, Elise continues. He was about to recommend your hotel for the Federal Executive Protection Program. That would have meant hundreds of guaranteed bookings annually. The silence that follows feels physical, pressing against everyone present. Tyler's eyes dart between Marcus and Elise, his reality collapsing around him. Hammond is visibly calculating the financial impact of what she's just heard. Perhaps, Marcus says quietly, you might want to reconsider whether I meet your rigorous standards now. In the silence that follows, the weight of prejudice exposed hangs heavy, and the cost of assumptions made becomes painfully clear to everyone witnessing this moment of reckoning. Marcus finally opens his jacket completely, revealing not just an ex-police badge but also a Medal of Valor, one of the highest honors bestowed upon law enforcement, rarely awarded and instantly recognizable to those who know its significance. Simultaneously, Elise opens her briefcase fully, displaying an extensive preliminary report on the hotel with photographs of Tyler discriminating against other non-white guests. The federal seal on the documents is unmistakable, its authority undeniable. The manager recognizes the official documentation and grips the reception desk for support, her professional facade crumbling entirely. My wife and I didn't plan this joint visit, Marcus explains, his voice now carrying an edge of controlled power. She's conducting a federal investigation into discrimination. I'm here as a security consultant at your CEO's request. Who, coincidentally, doesn't know we're married, Elise adds, with subtle satisfaction. An interesting coincidence, wouldn't you say? And the irony, Marcus continues, addressing the silent lobby rather than just Tyler. The Executive Protection Program I mentioned is designed to safeguard individuals who've received threats for promoting diversity in their companies. Elise leans closer to Hammond, speaking in a lower tone but still audible to those nearby. Your CEO is a black man, though few of your staff know this because he rarely visits properties in person. He specifically requested an undercover assessment after receiving complaints similar to what we've witnessed today. The reactions cascade through the lobby like falling dominoes. Tyler's face contorts in horror as the magnitude of his error becomes clear. Hammond launches into crisis management mode, her words tumbling over each other in desperate damage control. Security guards retreat further, avoiding eye contact with everyone. Other guests react with a mixture of shock, satisfaction, and uncomfortable self-recognition. The cleaning staff member has returned, now watching from a doorway with a hint of a smile playing at his lips. Hammond practically begs Elise not to include this incident in her official report. Tyler attempts to stammer incoherent apologies. Other staff members suddenly treat Marcus with exaggerated respect, offering water, coffee, assistance with his luggage. Marcus remains calm, now effortlessly in control without raising his voice or changing his demeanor. Elise has shifted into her official investigator persona, her notes becoming more deliberate, more damaging with each passing second. Then, an elevator door opens, and Charles Montgomery, the VIP guest from earlier, emerges. Everyone expects him to pass by to remain in his bubble of privilege. Instead, he approaches with recognition, lighting his face. Marcus Johnson? Man, it's been years. You still owe me one from that situation back in 2018. Tyler's jaw drops as Montgomery, the VIP he's been fawning over all day, embraces. Marcus with genuine warmth. I was held hostage for 16 hours, Montgomery explains to the stunned onlookers. Every other negotiator gave up, not Marcus. He talked to me through that door for hours. I never saw his face until he breached the room. Skin color was the last thing I noticed about the man who saved my life. Marcus addresses the gathered crowd. The problem with prejudice is that it tells an incomplete story. You see one part and fill in the rest with your fears and assumptions. Elise adds, and as long as we allow these incomplete stories to guide our actions, we'll continue, making mistakes that destroy lives and businesses. Tyler stares at the badge and medal, then at Marcus's face, as if truly seeing him for the first time. The recognition in his eyes speaks volumes, the beginning of understanding that arrives too late, but perhaps not worthlessly. Montgomery raises his glass. To the best damn cop I ever met, and the reason I'm alive to enjoy this overpriced scotch. The Grand Meridian's atmosphere has transformed completely. Manager Hammond announces that Tyler is temporarily suspended pending internal investigation. All staff will receive mandatory unconscious bias training. Montgomery publicly offers a toast to Marcus, compelling other guests to acknowledge his value. The hotel offers Marcus and Elise the presidential suite, which they politely decline. Away from the crowd, in a quieter corner of the lobby, Marcus and Elise share a private moment. His shoulders drop slightly, the perfect posture giving way to the weight of experience. 25 years on the force, high-level security consulting, a congressional medal, and I'm still that guy who doesn't belong here. Marcus says, his voice carrying the weariness of fighting the same battle endlessly. Elise takes his hand, her thumb tracing the calluses earned through decades of service. That's why we keep doing this work. You'd think it would get easier, Marcus admits. But each time still feels like the first time. Each time. Still. He doesn't finish the sentence, but he doesn't need to. I've found systematic discrimination in 70% of the luxury hotels I've investigated, Elise shares. The numbers don't lie, but they also don't capture what it feels like to live through it. Instead of demanding firings or pursuing litigation, Marcus approaches Hammond with an unexpected proposal. I'd like to suggest an internship program for young people from disadvantaged communities. Give them a path into hospitality management. Elise builds on his idea. The Grand Meridian could pioneer a new anti-discrimination protocol I've been developing. Turn this failure into industry leadership. I'll personally conduct the first training session for your staff, Marcus offers. Sometimes the best teaching comes from those who've experienced the problem firsthand. Hammond, genuinely moved by their approach, agrees immediately and adds a substantial financial commitment to scholarships for hospitality management students from underrepresented backgrounds. Marcus finds the cleaning staff member who had lowered his eyes earlier. Change doesn't happen when people like me are respected only after they discover who we are. It happens when people like you don't need to lower your eyes anymore. Meanwhile, Elise speaks quietly with Hammond. A truly inclusive environment isn't one that tolerates diversity. It's one that celebrates and thrives with it. Montgomery announces that his company will only work with hotels that have verifiable anti-discrimination policies, effective immediately. Marcus and Elise finally accept a standard room, not the offered suite. As they're escorted by now genuinely respectful staff, Tyler approaches, asking for a moment with Marcus. I'm sorry, he says simply, his arrogance replaced by uncomfortable self-awareness. I didn't see you. I saw what I expected to see. Marcus doesn't offer easy absolution. Recognition is the first step. What matters is what you do tomorrow and the day after. Later, in their room, Marcus and Elise stand by the window overlooking the city lights. They're exhausted, but satisfied, knowing that small changes eventually lead to larger transformations. We don't fight to be exceptional enough to deserve respect, Marcus says, watching the city below. We fight for a world where respect doesn't need to be earned, it's simply given to everyone. The screen fades as Marcus's words linger. A new voice emerges. Marcus and Elise's story is fictional, but based on countless documented real-life accounts across our country, the voice continues with gentle intensity. How many times have you judged someone based solely on their appearance? And how many times have you been judged? What did this video awaken in you? The final invitation feels personal, direct. Share in the comments your own experience with prejudice, whether as a witness, a victim, or even as someone who recognized their own biases and worked to overcome them. The screen darkens, but not before a final message appears. Your story might be someone's learning moment today. And remember, respect isn't a privilege. It's a fundamental human right.